Hi, this is Arthur, and this is a summary and explanation of the story from the event Aphelion, released in the game Girls Frontline 2 Exilium. Aphelion continues the story from the events Zukeru Cafe and Amidst Wings of Grey. The story opens sometime before Deer meets with the commander in the Zukeru Cafe event story. Klukai and Mekti are taking shelter from a collapsed storm in the Yellow Zone. The two are here following an assignment from Leva to investigate Paradius. Suddenly, they get attacked by some robots and defeat them. Klukai calls Belka and Andoris and gives them coordinates where they will meet up. We go to Belka, Andoris, and Deer, where Deer gives Belka and Andoris some special equipment before they leave. They then leave to meet Klukai and get attacked. They defeat their attackers and call Klukai, learning their attackers seem affiliated with the robots who attacked Klukai earlier. Suddenly, communications fail and we move to Klukai's perspective. Klukai and Mekti are fighting someone when they hear a voice from their adversaries. The voice comes from someone named Dimitri, who is the leader of a platoon of Survey Corps soldiers. Dimitri asks them to cease fire and Klukai obliges. They chat some more and Klukai says the NOMFA, or Non-Military Forces Administration, asked her to come investigate something. Klukai does not tell them about Paradius. Dimitri and Klukai form a deal where Klukai will assist in surveying the area as compensation for damage caused during their battle. We move to the White Zone and listen to a call between two dolls named Blusphere and Cocoon. We learn Blusphere sent the robots that attacked Klukai earlier. Cocoon orders Blusphere to cut off the Survey Corps' communication system and destroy Klukai and the nearby Survey Corps soldiers. We go back to Klukai, Mekti, and Dimitri's platoon who just reached a settlement. Klukai finishes her deal with Dimitri and leaves to look for a working communication system. She learns from locals only the Survey Corps have a reliable communication system. Klukai then heads to the nearby Survey Corps base and bumps into Dimitri again. Klukai pays Dimitri for access to the Survey Corps' communication system and contacts Belka and Andoris. Belka and Andoris also lost communications, but are luckily at a settlement and using the settlement's communication system. Klukai gives them the location of the Survey Corps base and tells them to head over. Klukai also tells Andoris to investigate some strange soldiers she saw at the Survey Corps base and sends over some footage she took of them. Belka and Andoris soon come by and Andoris reports the strange soldiers belong to Manji Security. Investigation into Manji Security revealed that its main client and shareholder is Sect Fabin. Sect Fabin is a pharmaceutical conglomerate that often works with the URNC government. A little later, Klukai gets a call for help from Dimitri. A Bujum and some Elids are attacking the nearby settlement. Klukai and her squad head over and drive the Bujum away with the special equipment Deer gave them, which is a powerful gun. During the battle, a soldier from Manji Security stole a vehicle and ran over many Survey Corps soldiers before driving away. After the battle, Klukai investigates a piece of the Bujum they severed and finds URNC dog tags in it. Dimitri then thanks Klukai for helping and reports the situation to his superiors, and they oddly order him to continue his survey mission. Dimitri and his platoon are poorly equipped, which makes following the orders feel like a suicide mission. We go back to Klukai, who calls Leva to report on her situation. Kalina soon hops on the call and says she's arranged for them and Dimitri's platoon to continue working together. This is so Klukai can continue her investigation into Paradius, as Kalina suspects Paradius has outside collaborators. Kalina also arranged reinforcements and doesn't say who they are, though it is likely the commander. We move to a call between Cocoon and Blusphere. Blusphere reports she is trying to defeat a Bujum and retrieve something from it. Cocoon orders Blusphere to continue working with Manji Security and to destroy Klukai's squad and Dimitri's platoon if she gets the chance. Cocoon then says they need to speak with Dartor and hangs up. Side note, Dartor is a doll Groza's squad defeated previously, so it seems she survived. We go back to Klukai's squad and Dimitri's platoon as they investigate the Yellow Zone. Side note, Klukai's squad is often referred to as HIDE 404. Blusphere soon finds them and sends the Manji security forces to attack. Klukai's squad and Dimitri's platoon fight them off, and we go to a call between Cocoon and Blusphere that happened a bit ago. Cocoon tells Blusphere Sect Fabin has authorized Blusphere to use the last resort if necessary. We go back to Klukai and Dimitri's platoon, who are resting from Blusphere's pursuit. They decide to ambush Blusphere's forces and position themselves accordingly. Unfortunately, things go poorly and enemy reinforcements force Klukai and Dimitri's forces to retreat to a nearby salt mine. Dimitri chose this salt mine based on information gathered from deceased Survey Corps soldiers they found earlier. Dimitri suspects there is something hidden here and goes with Klukai's squad to explore. They head deeper into the mine and discover an area with high levels of collapse radiation and unusually large collapse crystals. They investigate and learn the crystals were artificially planted there, and Klukai suspects it was Paradeus. Suddenly, the Bujum they fought earlier appears and they fight and defeat it. Dimitri searches through the deceased Bujum's innards and finds a recording along with the chip. They play the recording, which was made by a Survey Corps soldier named Nikolai. Dimitri was friends with Nikolai and recognizes his voice. Nikolai says they were ambushed by Manchi security forces and Paradeus. It seems Manchi security is helping Paradeus plant collapse crystals and conduct experiments. Information on Manchi security and Paradeus is contained on the chip. Nikolai adds that when epiphyllums bloom, there is a good chance nearby carbon-based lifeforms will turn into Bujums. Nikolai's last words are that if he turns into a Bujum, he hopes someone will kill him and discover the recording and the chip. It seems that Nikolai and his men did turn into a Bujum, and that Dimitri and Klukai's squad just killed that very Bujum. Andoris goes through the chip and finds emails between Manchi security and Sect Faben. The contents of those emails provide concrete proof Paradeus and Manchi security are working together and attacking Survey Corps soldiers in the area. Dimitri says this evidence must be delivered to the government. We move to Blusphere talking to a Manchi security leader. We learn the Last Resort uses devices to catastrophically raise the level of collapse radiation and kill everything in the region. However, Cocoon calls and confirms retrieving the recording and the chip is the priority, not just killing everyone. Blusphere says she will use the devices to raise the level of collapse radiation in the salt mine only. We go back to Klukai's squad and Dimitri's platoon. Dimitri gives the chip and recording to Klukai and tells her to get the evidence out no matter what. Suddenly, alarms go off as the collapse crystals activate and the collapse radiation in the area rises, attracting nearby Elids. Klukai and Dimitri's forces retreat deeper into the salt mine. One of Dimitri's men then gets a communication signal, which is odd since their communications have been jammed for almost the entirety of their mission. Dimitri answers the call and it is Blusphere. Blusphere says she secured all entrances into the mine and requests their surrender. Klukai and Dimitri decline. Klukai's squad scouts out the area and finds a collapsed exit, and unfortunately they don't have the firepower to blast through it. Klukai's squad regroup with Dimitri's platoon and they see they are planning an ambush. They tell Dimitri about the collapsed exit and Dimitri gives them the battery packs from his soldiers' contamination suits. Without those battery packs, Dimitri's men will soon succumb to the radiation. Dimitri says he and his men will stay behind and hold off Blusphere's forces, even if it means certain death. Dimitri tells Klukai and her squad to leave and to deliver the chip and the recording to the government. A proximity alarm goes off and Dimitri's forces engage with the attacking Manji security forces as well as Elids. Klukai and her squad return to the collapse exit and use the battery packs from Dimitri to power the gun Deer gave them earlier. Blusphere's forces soon defeat Dimitri's, but not before Dimitri ignites a nearby gas line, setting off a massive explosion. Klukai's squad then used Deer's gun to break through the collapsed exit and flee towards a nearby abandoned settlement. They reach the settlement when high energy particles are fired at them. One of Klukai's arms is blown off in the attack. It seems Blusphere somehow survived the explosion and is attacking them in a new multi-limbed form along with a bunch of Manji security troops. Things look grim when Groza and her squad along with Sextons arrive and offer their assistance. Blusphere recognizes Sextons, but Sextons does not recognize Blusphere. Blusphere then activates her self-destruct and the Last Resort, activating all the planted collapse crystals in the area. Blusphere starts counting down and Groza and the dolls can't seem to stop her from self-destructing. Fortunately, right after the countdown hits 0, Deer calls and says he managed to hack into Blusphere and disable her Last Resort. Blusphere's body seems disabled and Deer tells them to retrieve it. They all return to the Elmo and once there, Deer explains to Klukai the commander was looking for them the whole time. It was only during the battle when Blusphere tried to locate Klukai did Blusphere lower the security on her network just enough for the commander to find them. As for Blusphere, Deer learned from Sexton's design how to hack Blusphere and did so when Klukai's squad was distracting her. However, right before Blusphere was disabled, she activated an EMP that damaged the chip and recording. The information may be recoverable, but this isn't Deer's area of expertise. Until they find someone who can help, the chip and recording will be kept with the commander. Klukai then heads to the ops room and chats with the commander and Leva, who calls in. They update each other on what happened, and Leva tells Klukai to escort the commander to Lviv. Leva hangs up and Klukai and the commander have their first chat alone in 10 years. We change locations to a furnished office where a middle-aged man in a suit is taking a call with Cocoon. Cocoon reports on what happened, and the middle-aged man orders Cocoon to carry on with the mission and to revive Blusphere into a new frame. The middle-aged man also tells Cocoon that their team will need to deliver results that satisfy something he refers to as it. And that is the end of this event story in this video. If you liked what you've seen here, please like, comment, and subscribe.